Hello, everybody. Today we are going to learn daily Tanya for Yud Nissan Tafshin Pei Dalet. So, as a quick reminder. Yesterday we talked about Ava, right? We talked about Ava as a mitzvah and Ava as the reward, right? Ava or love, right? So we're saying that Ava as the reward is obviously the feeling of Ava that one gets, but Ava as a mitzvah is to serve. The definition of that, what does that mitzvah mean? Does it mean to feel love? No, because feeling of love is the reward. What it means is to serve Hashem out of love, to serve Hashem out of a burning desire to do Hashem's will. And so we're gonna present a sort of counterpoint to that, and in this next parak. So parak Mem Beram צריך להיות לזיכרון תמיד ראשית העבודה. So one must always remember the beginning, the initial point of avoda, v'ikara v'shosha, and its root. In other words, sort of, one should not. You can think of it as the foundation. One shouldn't forget the foundation. Vehu ki af shayira yishosh lesur mera, right? And even though when we talk about yira, right? So we talked about Ava before, and we're gonna talk about Yira. But he's gonna preface this by saying that even though Yira is sholosh lesol mera, right? It is the basis for avoiding evil, right? So being in awe or fearing God is the beginning of wisdom in the sense that it's avoiding evil. And love is the beginning of the will to do good. אף על פי כן, לא די לו לעורר אהבה לבדה, לבעשה טוב. It should be clear that it's not enough to merely awaken and arouse one's love and will to do good. ולפחות צריך לעורר תחילה היראה טבעית המסותרת בלב כל ישראל. Okay, and at the very least, one must awaken and arouse one's natural awe of Hashem, which is hidden in the heart of every Jew. So as not to rebel, God forbid, against the King of Kings, Hashem. So in other words, at the very least, one must awaken within himself the natural feelings of awe that he has of God, that every Jew has, and even every person of rational mind has. At the very least, you need to awaken that in yourself. Al kol panim. Dehainu, which is to say, leitbonen b'machshavto, which is, in other words, to speculate in one's mind. Al kol panim, gdulat ensof baruch hu malchuto, Hashem's infinite greatness and kingship. Asheri malchut kol olamim, which is his kingship and rulership over all of the worlds. Right? We spoke about the existence of multiple worlds, but you could think about it also in the universe. Hashem rules over all the planets and all the material, everything. Hashem rules over all of it. All of the vastness of the material world and all of the vastness of the cycle realms that we inhabit or inhabit us. Asher hi malchut kol olamim, it's king of all the worlds, elyonim v'tachtonim, the higher worlds and the lower worlds. V'ihu memaleh kol almin, and he fills all the worlds, so to speak. In other words, Hashem, is the grantor and the basis of the existence and the meaning and the purpose of everything which exists. In other words, again, we talked about sort of purpose being that which grants existence and not the other way around. And Hashem being the grantor and being close to Hashem being the ultimate purpose, he himself is, in a sense, the purpose of the existence of the world. But he is also removed from the world in the sense that he possesses a perspective on the world which he possesses a perspective on the world as a whole. Right? He can step back and look at it so to speak. וכמו שכתוב, הלא את השמיים ואת הארץ אני מלא, and as it says, I fill the heavens and the earth. Do not I fill the heavens and the earth. And with all of this greatness, הוא מניח העליונים והתחתונים, הוא מייחד מלכותו על עמו ישראל בכלל ועליו בפרט. Okay, and with all this greatness, Hashem decides to set aside the vastness of the material world and the greatness and sort of exalted nature of the higher cycle realms, and the spiritual realms, let's say. And he chooses to let's say, how do I translate this word? He chooses to grant his kingship. He chooses to name his kingship over the people of Am Yisrael as the most important aspect of his kingship, let's say. In other words, he sets aside everything else, and he comes to rule over Am Yisrael as their sort of personal Lord. Right? This is over Am Yisrael in general, but over every Yid in particular. כי חייב אדם לומר בשבילי נברא העולם, right? Because every person needs to say, it says in the Mishnah, the world is created for me. What does that mean? It means if the world is created in order to reveal Hashem's greatness and Hashem's kingship, and we say the world is created for me, what that means is that the world is created for Hashem to reveal his kingship over me, right? The world is created so that I might do Hashem's will. Vehu gam hu, and therefore he מקבל עליו עול מלכותו להיות מלך עליו. He accepts Hashem's kingship to be a king over him. ולעובדו, and to serve him, ולעשות רצונו, and to do his will, בכל מיני עבודת עבד, in any work that a servant might do. So that's it for today. I just wanted to say, as an aside note, I just sort of this has more to do with what we learned about yesterday, about the sort of the thirst and the drive, the sort of the intense yearning for Hashem's revelation and His presence. I recently saw a Joe Rogan podcast where he talks about, I don't know if you are familiar with the Joe Rogan podcast, but he talks about where he just briefly brought up in conversation how people like Michael Jordan, and he brings other examples as well, were so obsessed with the game. You know, the chassis of Magnus Carlsen, that's an example. They're so obsessed with the game. They're so involved with it. Their entire being is involved with it. They describe how when you talk about when you talk to them about a mistake they made, it's like the death of a relative. And I was thinking, man, this is how we should be. Lehavdil, of course, but like, this is probably something like how we should be feeling about Avodas Hashem. There's probably something like the Ava that we should be feeling. It's not just a, love Hashem in your spare time. It's no, love Hashem with all of your heart, with all of your soul. And I think that's what it means to be a chassid. It means to be completely involved and in love with the Kadosh Baruch Hu and with the Torah, and with Yiddishkeit, and just being obsessed with it. And not everybody's like that. That's why we're all aspiring Hasidim. All right, see you tomorrow.